Well, thank you, Alex, and it is indeed a great pleasure to be back because I had an enforced absence from for a number of years from meetings of the NCRI supporters in this country. So whilst I wasn't overwhelmingly pleased to leave my cabinet position, I think that my departure was considerably sweetened by the knowledge that I can do a lot more to help support the NCRI over the coming years. And it is indeed a great pleasure to be back. It's a pleasure to be back because I believe that we are at a very crucial time in the history of Iran and the West's relations with Iran. Whilst one understands that there is always a need to negotiate, even with countries of which we may disapprove heartily, I think that when one sees what is happening in Iran, it makes that process extremely difficult. It's noted that the so-called moderate President Rohani, and it was noted not just by me, but by the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, that during his first year as president, there were some 1,000 executions in Iran, that the treatment in particular of women in Iran under the current regime is terribly, terribly distressing. We've heard about the acid attacks, which I'm sure have distressed us all, but maybe also our hearts are lifted by the fact that the women of Iran clearly are not going to accept that sort of intimidation. And we heard, and this was a piece of news that was covered right across the Western media, of the execution of Rehani Jabara only last week. I've always been very impressed when I attend meetings in support of the NCRI that so many of its members are women. And indeed, of course, its leader, its distinguished leader, is a woman too. And I think that that alone, that commitment to the equality of the genders in Iran, speaks volumes as to what the Iranian regime is on the one hand, and as to what, on the other hand, an alternative is offered by the NCRI of Maryam Rajavi. So I'm looking forward to supporting you a lot, as I say, over the coming years. I wish you every success, and I believe that your cause is very, very just.